On a dark September night in 2013, Galicia, Spain, was shaken to its core. Two men driving home spotted something on a forest road near Teo. They stopped, approached, and found the body of a young girl. It was Asunta Basterra Porto, just 12 years old. The news spread instantly, stunning the peaceful community. Violent crime was rare here, especially against a child. The media swarmed Santiago de Compostela, desperate for answers. Asunta's parents, Rosario Porto and Alfonso Basterra, reported her missing hours before her body was found. They appeared on TV, pleading for her return, their grief on full display. The public sympathized with the respected, well-known family. But investigators quickly noticed inconsistencies in the parents' stories. Their emotions seemed off, their timelines didn't match. The case took a shocking turn. Suspicion fell on the very people who should have protected Asunta. The discovery of her body shattered the illusion of safety. The investigation would soon reveal dark secrets behind the family's perfect image. Spain watched in disbelief as the search for justice began. The tragedy forced the nation to confront a terrifying truth. Sometimes the greatest danger comes from within the home. The story of Asunta was no longer just a crime. It was a national reckoning. The case would challenge everything people thought they knew about trust and family. Asunta's death marked the end of innocence for a nation. The search for answers would lead straight back to her own home. The perfect family was about to be exposed as a lie. The shockwaves from that night would be felt for years. The hunt for the truth had only just begun, and the world was watching. Asunta Basterra Porto was adopted from China as a baby by Rosario Porto and Alfonso Basterra. She grew up in privilege in Santiago de Compostela, excelling in school, music and languages. Her parents were prominent: Rosario, a lawyer from a wealthy family; Alfonso, a journalist. To outsiders, they were the model of a loving modern family. The adoption was celebrated as an act of love. Friends and neighbors saw a happy, well-cared-for child. The family's public image was flawless: domestic bliss, opportunity, and affection. But behind closed doors, a different reality was unfolding. The family's perfection was a carefully maintained illusion. Resentment and instability simmered beneath the surface. Asunta, bright and sensitive, was caught in the middle of growing turmoil. The love that seemed so strong was poisoned by secrets. The people who promised her safety were becoming her greatest threat. The truth behind the Basterra Porto family was far darker than anyone imagined. The perfect family was a facade, and that facade would soon come crashing down. Asunta's life and death would expose it all. By 2013, Rosario and Alfonso's marriage had collapsed. Rosario's affair led to a bitter separation, but they tried to co-parent Asunta. Alfonso, unemployed, became deeply involved in Asunta's daily life, managing her schedule and meals. The arrangement created a tense, toxic dynamic. Alfonso's caregiving blurred the lines between support and control. Rosario's mental health was fragile, and she relied on Alfonso despite their conflict. The family home became a battleground of obligation and manipulation. Asunta, sensitive and intelligent, was caught in the emotional crossfire. The divorce and constant arguments left her unsettled. The myth of the perfect family was gone, replaced by secrets and resentment. The home was no longer a sanctuary but a stage for quiet drama. Asunta's world was crumbling and danger was closing in. The seeds of tragedy had been sown. In the months before her death, Asunta's health declined alarmingly. Teachers noticed her exhaustion and confusion. She confided to her music teacher, "My mother is trying to kill me," describing white powders that made her sleep for days. Her warnings were dismissed as fantasy. She told others about strange medications and feeling dizzy. Alfonso confirmed to a teacher that Asunta was on strong allergy medicine. The pattern was clear: Asunta was being drugged. In July, Rosario reported a masked intruder who allegedly tried to strangle Asunta. Police found no evidence, and Rosario dropped the matter. Investigators later believed this was a staged event, a rehearsal or cover story. The warning signs were there: a sick child, strange stories, a suspicious break-in. No one connected the dots. Asunta was in danger, but her cries for help went unheard. The adults around her failed to see the truth. The summer of 2013 was a time of growing darkness for Asunta. Her world was closing in, and no one intervened. The tragedy was set in motion. September 21, 2013, Asunta's last day. She had lunch with both parents, then was seen on security cameras with Rosario. That evening, Rosario and Alfonso reported her missing, claiming she'd been left home alone. Police launched a search. The city was on edge. Hours later, Asunta's body was found on a forest track near the family's country house. There were no obvious signs of violence. The location was significant. Close to the house, Rosario claimed to have visited alone. The case shifted from missing person to murder. Police questioned the parents again. Their stories unraveled. Rosario denied Asunta was with her, then changed her story when confronted with footage. She claimed to have brought Asunta back to the city, but evidence contradicted her. The lies raised red flags. Why would a grieving mother lie about her daughter's last hours? The focus of suspicion narrowed to the parents. The terrible truth was beginning to emerge. The autopsy revealed Asunta died from asphyxiation, with a lethal dose of lorazepam in her system. Hair analysis showed she'd been drugged for months. The white powders were real. Police found orange rope at the country house matching rope near Asunta's body. Deleted photos on Alfonso's computer showed Asunta in disturbing poses, hinting at a sinister relationship. Pharmacy records showed Alfonso bought large amounts of lorazepam without a prescription, matching Asunta's periods of illness. The evidence pointed to a calculated plan, not a spontaneous act. Motive was unclear. Some suggested Asunta was seen as a burden, others pointed to financial reasons. Rosario's mental health and Alfonso's dependence added complexity. The prosecution argued the parents saw Asunta as an obstacle. The timeline was damning. Alfonso acquired the drugs, Asunta was sedated, and the plan unfolded over months. The case was built on a web of lies, evidence, and chilling intent. The question remained, why would two parents do this? The answer was as elusive as it was horrifying. The investigation left no doubt about their involvement. The nation demanded justice. The trial was inevitable. The trial of Rosario and Alfonso began in September 2015, captivating Spain. The prosecution presented overwhelming circumstantial evidence, security footage, toxicology, pharmacy records, and the parents' shifting stories. In court, the parents turned on each other, each blaming the other for Asunta's death. Their emotional testimonies only strengthened the case against them. The jury heard from police, experts, teachers, and friends. The prosecution argued both parents acted together. Alfonso procured the drugs, Rosario suffocated Asunta. After 4 weeks, the jury found both guilty of murder. The verdict was unanimous. Both were sentenced to 18 years in prison. For many, justice was served, but the motive remained a mystery. The case left Spain haunted by unanswered questions. The story was far from over. The nation struggled to understand how such evil could hide in plain sight. Even after the verdict, doubts lingered. Some believed Rosario acted alone, others suspected a third party. Theories about inheritance, mental health, and mysterious break-ins persisted. Rosario and Alfonso maintained their innocence from prison. In 2020, Rosario took her own life, leaving no confession. Alfonso remains in prison, silent and alone. The full truth may never be known. The Asunta case remains an open wound in Spain's memory. Asunta's murder forced Spain to confront the darkness that can hide behind a perfect facade. The case shattered illusions about family, safety, and trust. It sparked national conversations about child abuse, mental health, and the need to listen to children. Asunta's unheard warnings became a haunting reminder of collective failure. The investigation and trial showed the power of forensic evidence and public scrutiny. The story remains a warning. Evil can wear a mask of normalcy. Asunta's legacy is a call to vigilance and compassion. The questions about her final hours and true justice still echo in Spain.